Hey guys, all right, back to our series of the May 2025 paper of the AISL. Moving on to question 5. Question 4 was something that I skipped because it wasn't something that my students have done in the first year of the course. So I'm moving on to question 5, which is a quadratic function question. Again, this was a very predictable question again about the dolphin and its and modeling the path of its jump. So and it says that I think this information is really crucial because it says that the dolphin reaches a height of 5.1 meters above the surface when the horizontal distance is 3, and again when the horizontal distance is 8.5. I think there's a lot of misconception in the question. I believe a lot of students will say that at the highest point, that's where the dolphin reaches the height of 5.1. But in the question, it says that it's going to reach the same height twice. So you can't have the maximum point to be 5.1 because you don't reach the maximum height twice. So it's logical to say that it will have the same height where you get this before the maximum point. Maybe this will be about 3 meters horizontally, and you reach the height of 5.1. And we know that if I were to project this line, well, I guess it's going to give you the same height as well. So that's where the horizontal distance from here to here will be 8.5. So this will be 8.5. Okay, well, at this value, this will be 3. Okay, so yeah, that's generally what the question basically says. And it says in part A, find the equation of the axis of symmetry of the quadratic function. And because we know that since it reaches the same height of 5.1 at 3 at 8.5, and we know that a parabola is always symmetrical as well, so we can find what is the axis of symmetry right down the middle. And since we know that this is 3 and this is 8.5, we could always find the midpoint that give us the axis of symmetry. Okay, so to find the midpoint, we can just take the 3 plus 8.5 divided by 2. Okay, so that should give me x to be 11.5 divided by 2, which is 5.75. Please make sure you put x equal to that number, because if you only put 5.75, you're not getting any credit out of this question. Okay, so that's part A for you. It says that the quadratic function models the dolphin jump, which comes in this form, which is negative 0.2 d squared plus bd. So your job is to find what's the value of b. Okay, now just to reiterate what I said earlier, we know that at this point it's going to be 3, 5.1. At this point it's going to be 8.5 and 5.1. Now what I intend to do for part B is to do a regression. Since we know that this is a quadratic function and we know that the points are best fit by a quadratic curve, then all I really need is to make sure that I have sufficient points to put on my GDC so that I could do my quadratic regression, and that could probably help me to find the parameter of which is in this case, which is b. Now I do know that it starts at 0, 0 from the graph. So to do quadratic regression, in a nutshell, you need 3 points. Okay, and I have all 3 points here. So let's just put all this onto the calculator and let's see how it goes. So I'm going to go to stat again. So quit stat, edit. Okay, then we're going to put all the points here again. Okay, so it was 0, 0. First I'm going to put 0. Oops. The second point was, I think, was 3, isn't it? Okay, then the last one was 8.5. Then L2, I'm going to go put 0. Then this will be, at 3, it will be 5.1. Then at 8.5, it's also 5.1 for the height of the dolphin. So I got my 3 points here. Then I'm going to go to stat, go to calc, choose 5, quadratic regression, press enter. This doesn't look very right. Let me try again. So calc, option 5, L1, L2. Oh no, come on. What's that? Okay, wait, let me just double check something.
唔少住戶對於油尖旺區同埋何文田區附
There we
近買
go.
樓都有。
The terrible ads are back. Oh wait, why is not 5.1 not written here? Okay, let's try again. So we're gonna go to stat, go to calc, quadratic regression, enter. Okay, now this works now. All right. How did I know no annoying ad? You just show me an ad. I don't want to play mahjong. Okay. All right. So anyway, now how do I know that my answer was wrong initially? Because I was expecting a to be negative 0.2 because that's what the question says. The coefficient of x-ray was negative 0.2, and now I got negative 0.2, so I know that I'm on the right track. Then B is 2.3, that's what I really want, and C is 0, and that's correct because there was no C in the quadratic function that was given to us, so the answer has to be 2.3. There we go. All right, perfect. So B would be 2.3. Okay, again, I was just using the quadratic feature as well. Then part C, it says find the horizontal distance when the dolphin re-enters the water. So actually we're looking at this point, isn't it? Specifically this point. All right, and now we have the equation, right? We have h of d to be negative 0.2 d squared. Then I'm going to add b to be 2.3 d. So I got the quadratic function. So what is stopping us from putting this onto our GDC? Let's do it. Then we're going to find what is the x-intercept, which is like the 0 on your TI-84 calculator if you're using that. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go back to the calculator and I'm going to plot my graph here. Sorry, so it'd be negative 0.2. Since I can't put a d, I'm just going to put an x in this case. Then it will be plus 2.3x. Okay, so that was the equation of the graph. I'm going to graph it. Okay, looks good. And what I really want is the 0, so I'm going to go to second trace, choose the option 2. The left bound, just somewhere close to the x-intercept, and the right bound just towards the right of the x-intercept. And you're going to get 11.5. That's the one, that's the value I'm looking for, okay? So in this case, this will be 11.5. So it says explain what a negative h value would mean in this context, okay? So what is next? So h was defined as the height of the dolphin above the surface of the water. So if you have a negative value, it just means that the dolphin will be below the surface of the water. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. The dolphin below the surface of the water. Alright guys, 7 marks in the bag. I don't think this is really difficult. I think it's a very typical quadratic function question. So I think so far so good, alright? Not really that controversial, isn't it? I mean, there are questions which I think is very manageable. Enough for the students to do generally quite well in this paper as well. Okay, so guys, this is question 5 for you about the dolphin with quadratic functions. Video for the next question will come soon. So please like this video, subscribe to my channel, support Numeric Blueprint. Yay. Alright, so guys, next video coming up very soon. Alright, see you shortly.